to Suburban Home. My name is Justin, and I'm here with Miki Rich from one of my favorite bands of all time, Atlantic. One of the best bands from
I'm in the toilet.
one of the best bands from Down Under, Atlantic. Uh, very honored to have you guys on. Um,
Thank you.
yeah. So the new Atlantic album was here. Comes out August 23rd on Hopeless Records. Um, They released their last album, I think it was 2 years ago at this point?
2022. Yeah.
Yeah?
May 6th, 2022.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that album so much, by the way.
Thank you.
And
I only remember the date because it's the same date as our sound guy. And like, so our sound guy's birthday. So like his birthday just always gets forgotten because we always have some sort of like release party or like an anniversary thing. And he's always like, it's my birthday too.
nice. Um, yeah, let me yeah, okay. So, of course, Miki is the bassist,
That's
as,
me.
if I didn't mention that before. Uh, to start, you guys have always been, at least for the past, like, 3 records, kind of the band setting the foundation or setting at least something uh, for a better part of the alternative and punk scene, kind of like one of the cornerstones, I guess, uh,
Thank you.
in my opinion, and from what I gather from a lot of other people's opinions. Can you explain your style change and even influences throughout the years, maybe particularly for someone who isn't super caught up on Statlantic
Yeah,
lore?
sure. So I think, well, the main thing is, I guess, obviously, we kind of started off as like our first EP is pretty pop punk or whatever. But even after doing the EP, um, we've always said that like we don't really want to be called a pop punk band, like, because not that we don't like pop punk or anything, and we always have pop punk influences in our music, even to this day. But we never wanted to be backed into a corner. Like we always just kind of wanted to write music and like, if maraca sounds good, like we're gonna put it in. Like even if it's not rock music, or if this synth patch sounds good, like we're gonna put it in. And if it sounds bad, we don't put it in. And if a distorted metal guitar sounds good, we're gonna put it in. So we never wanted to be boxed in. And to be honest, the only progress album to album isn't really us changing our sound. I think it's just us being a bit less scared, I guess. Like I think even with skinny dipping, we'd like try some weird stuff, but like I think we're a bit scared to go too crazy. And then the next album, we're like, no, you know what? Like we don't want to be boxed in. We're gonna put this on. And like every album, I think we're just a bit more confident with what we want to do. And a good song is a good song. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter what genre it is. Like if it's a good song, a good melody, it's a good song. So we know we never start the day going like, okay, we want to write a rock song or we want to write a pop song or whatever. Like we just go in and like we try out some sounds. We're like, wow, we've never used a 8 string guitar and drop A before. Let's try that. Which has happened a lot, which happened a lot on this new album actually. But um and using those tools doesn't necessarily mean we're gonna make a metal song. Like I think a good example is Girls on this new album. I feel like some people are like, this is the poppiest thing they've ever done. It's like those guitars are in drop A and recorded on an 8 string guitar. Like that's one of the heaviest songs we've ever done.
Yeah.
But again, we're using those tools in the way we kind of want to do it and not necessarily like, okay, 8 string means metal song. You know what I mean? So I think genre wise, we've also always just been very fluid, and we do get boxed into kind of that pop punk realm, and which is fine because we have songs on this new album as well that definitely has pop punk influences, and we're not going to deny that we grew up, on pop punk influences. Like we loved Blink 182, Sum 41. Like that's the music we grew up on, and we're always going to pull from that. But we pull from other music, so we're just a band that has weird songs, and hopefully people like it. And that's what most albums of our albums sound like. rock influenced fun music.
Yeah, absolutely. I like that. Um, I'm not sure if you're aware, but your only listed genre on Wikipedia is pop punk.
Yeah, see? But it's just one of those things, isn't it? Like,
Absolutely.
even if people were like, "What is your genre?" Like, we can't really say it. Like, I don't know if you've heard the new album yet, but there's like a reggae kind of song on there, and there's like a thing. But like, we're not gonna put we're a reggae band.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. Yeah.
I don't know. Oh, I feel like alt rock might be nice, but if it's pop punk, it's pop punk. Like,
Yeah. I definitely agree with alt rock, especially um same going for bands like yours truly and Hot Milk and all that. Um
yeah,
because they have all those influences of like post hardcore, trap or hip hop or whatever. And
yeah,
like you guys have all the hip hop and kind of hyper pop stuff in there too. At least on your last record for sure.
yeah.
Um yeah, totally.
Exactly. I think just yeah. I think also people kind of complain about like we're not pop punk. It's like I guess yeah. If I had to say we're not, we're not. But like at the end of the day, I feel like music evolves. Like Blondie used to say she was pop punk. If you said Blondie's pop punk to like a pop punk kid right now, they'd be like, Blondie's not pop punk. So, and the music evolves. So, maybe in like 20 years, people will look back and be like, wow, like bands like us and, as you said, like Hot Milk and all those other bands, maybe like we are this generation's pop punk. Who knows? I don't want to claim it, but we might be.
Absolutely. Um so who produced the record?
So we've had the same producer every time.
Okay.
His name's Stevie Knight. And he's pretty much the fifth member of the band. I've personally worked with him even before being in the band. I've probably worked with him for like probably over 10 years now, like 12 years, like we've kind of worked together. But
Sweet.
mainly for Stan Atlantic, like Bon and him have worked together since Sidewinder, and he's produced every one of our um albums. He's one of our main songwriters too. Like he works with us. He writes the songs with Bon a lot as well. And yeah, he's great.
Yeah, sweet. Um that's what I thought. I did just want to ask just in case, but I know he gets around, especially in the Australian music scene, yours truly,
Yeah,
Atlantic, all those kind of
yeah.
bands. Sick. He makes really good stuff
Thanks. Yeah, I'll let him know.
for sure. Um okay, would you consider this album somewhat of a continuation of Fear or a whole new era?
I would say, like, if people think it's continuation, I get it, but I would say it's a whole new era. I think I think we went a lot crazier with this one. I think with Fear, we had a lot of crazy ideas, but we still kind of like really stuck to that, like, let's keep it a vocal melody hook, or like let's kind of keep the structure. Where this album, I think we kind of even like let those chains loose and we kind of did everything. So the album's a bit eclectic, and we almost had it was like a weird thing of like we thought it was going to be really hard to put the album in order because just the songs are so different song by song that like maybe there's no flow. But it actually kind of helped, and you kind of can put it in most orders and it flows because it has that standardized sound, which is the flow, but it's so different that there didn't really need to be a particular order. So yeah, I would say it's not. I think it's a whole new thing personally. But we have at the end of the day it has that Stan Atlantic sound, and I would say all our albums is in some way a continuation of the last one. Yeah.
Absolutely. Nice. Um, what are some of the influences you had, whether it be you or between the band? Just like what were you guys
Yeah.
listening to while writing, recording, all that?
It's funny because a lot of the songs we were listening to didn't influence us in this music, like or what we were listening to at the time.
Mm,
But we were listening to I'd have to ask Bon because she was listening to some weird stuff just for the album. But I know personally as well, when we were making some of the bass lines, like we were listening to like me and Stevie would just put on Corn and would be like, let's get some fucking sick. So like things like Warzone and stuff, that single that we put out, like if you listen to the bass lines, there's a lot of like Corn influence bass lines in there and stuff. Um Oh, I wish I could ask Bon. There was something that they were listening to in particular, and I was like, that was so weird, but I get it when I hear the songs. If I remember it, I'll let you know. But yeah, for me personally, yeah, we listen to a lot of like weird bands, like well, not weird, but like bands like Korn and stuff for the bass lines. Just that really like cool, like boom, 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 those
Yeah,
kind of bass lines.
yeah,
So sick. Yeah, you'll hear it in a few of the songs, to be honest.
for sure, for sure. Um, can we talk about lyrical themes? I'm not sure how much of a
Yeah.
hand you had in that, but I'm sure you can talk a little bit about it.
Sure. Yeah, it's mostly Bon, but yeah, let's
Absolutely.
try.
Yeah, yeah. Um, do you just want to kind of like I don't know where we would start, but do you like because I've only heard the singles.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, um do you just want to start like with the first single Killer?
Yeah. Oh God, Killer was so long ago. We recorded Killer in 2022. That's how long ago that was written. So was Warzone, actually. The original Warzone was 2022 as well. So, oh wait, that actually might be Bonner. Maybe she can help me with this.
Oh yeah.
Hi, Bon. Do you want to answer this question?
Sure. What's the question?
One it was number one is what were you listening to when the album? Because Stevie and I were listening to a lot of Corn, so the bass lines, but
Deftones, Kasabian randomly,
Oh
a lot
nice.
of Diplo, Skrillex, lots of things.
and then the second one was lyrical themes of Killer. Like where was your headspace at?
Um, I was kind of talking to myself in third person. Kind of just was not really happy with where I was at because of things that were going on in my life, and I felt like I didn't really recognize the person anymore. Staring at myself in the mirror, being like, "Who are you?" And I kind of felt like I just killed a version of myself off for someone else's benefit. So, yeah,
There you go.
cool.
Have fun with your interview.
I'm gonna eat my noodles.
Yeah, we have a whole room of interviews going on here, so
Nice. Nice. All right. Yeah, that was awesome. Yeah, I mean, is there kind of a motive behind girls, or is that just kind of is that pretty straightforward, that song?
I think that one's pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
I think it's just everything in that song is kind of said. I think more so on the album. Um, there's a song called 17, which is really personal to Bon,
Okay.
and I think she just kind of needed that. Like a lot of the things I think, especially that Bon writes about, is just things she needs to get out,
Oh,
and that's
100%.
kind of what most of it is. And like, yeah, I think 17 is a really important song. I know she almost didn't want to put it on the album, but I think it's very important for people to listen to and relate to once that
Yeah.
comes out.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a lot of songs on there that are kind of like that. And also I think it's kind of as interesting as it is for finding out what the lyrics are about. Like half the fun is also kind of just like what the listeners get out of it. Like what
Absolutely.
they think the song means. We've definitely seen some people that are like, this song helped me because of this, and it's like, well, that's not what the song's about, but we're not going to say that because it helps people, and like you put your own kind of meanings to the lyrics. You know what I
Absolutely.
mean?
Yeah.
Sometimes sometimes it might actually ruin the song.
That's
They're like,
totally
oh
fair.
yeah, that was just about the time I got drunk. It's like, oh man.
Yeah.
And someone's like,
Um,
this really helped me through a breakup. It's like, oh, we're not going to tell you the reason to the song then.
yeah. But clearly, uh, what I gather you saying is, the album seems very, like it seems very vulnerable from a point of view, from Bonnie. Uh,
Yeah.
would you say it was Bonnie's like the most vulnerable she's ever been on an album?
Uh, I think she's vulnerable most albums, to be honest,
Totally.
because to me that's the only way she can let her feelings out. She's too happy all the time.
Yeah. 100%.
But yeah, I think maybe like again, like songs like 17, yeah, would definitely be probably one of the most. So I think there's certain points in the album where yeah, it's the most vulnerable
Okay.
she's been, but I think she always is.
Absolutely. Yeah, totally. Um, so what tracks did you guys have the most fun writing? And I want to ask specifically, what is your personal favorite collab on the album?
Okay.
Just because I know you guys love doing collabs, and there's so many
Yeah,
on
we love
here
it.
that are awesome. And
We
yeah,
love it.
yeah,
Okay, so favorite song to write and record. I really liked Kissing Killer Cobras. I think that is really that was just really fun. It was just fun to
nice,
do.
nice.
There was one that would have been the funnest, but we didn't end up getting to do what I wanted to do, which is there's a song called Rockstar on the
Mhm.
album.
Yep.
And I really wanted to. Have you ever seen like a ukulele bass? So it looks like
Yes.
a
Yeah. Yeah.
ukulele, but they have the really thick rubber strings.
Yeah. Yeah.
I really wanted to record that whole song on one of those. It would have been perfect for it, but we couldn't find one anywhere.
Damn.
So we ended up just recording it on bass, and like it sounds fine, it sounds great, but like
Yeah.
that would have been so sick. I just really wanted to do it. It was like we finally had a perfect song for it, and I was like, damn, I just really want that like rubbery sound. But couldn't find that.
Yeah.
And then in terms of collabs, I think the funnest one we did was Polaris, just because I've known the Polaris guys since like two bands ago. Like I'm talking like probably almost 15 years ago.
Oh wow.
Like because we grew up in the same area.
Yep.
Ryan, who obviously sadly passed away, but like we knew each other because he would do covers of my old band, and he would come on stage and play the songs. So
Oh
like
nice.
I've known Ryan at least since he was like 11 or 12 years old. So we always grew up kind of together. And then obviously like their band blew up and we kind of blew up, and we kind of were so busy, and we always kind of wanted to do something, but the timing never worked. And luckily there was just this one thing that happened, which was Mike Shinoda from Linkin Park. He got this little session in Sydney going, and Bon obviously did that, and the drummer for that was Polaris's drummer Dan,
Mhm.
and they got talking, and then we finally like got to do something. Like they were like, all right, like we actually have to do something. Like we have this song which already had like a breakdown part. It wasn't as heavy, it was a bit different, but it was like a breakdown part that Bon was screaming on anyway, and we were like, just come in, like let's try something. So like Dan helped change the breakdown a bit, and like we made it a lot heavier. It's in double drop D for
Mhm.
those music nerds. It's very heavy.
Yeah.
And obviously Jamie's screams are just insane. So that, and it just kind of felt like a full circle moment. Like we're all from Sydney, and like we're all doing our own thing, and we got to finally get together and like do something. So that was my favorite like music collaboration.
Nice.
But we did the song with Sueco called Nosebleed, and that was like it hasn't come out yet, but
Mhm.
we just filmed a music video for that in LA with Sueco, and
Mm.
that was so much fun. So I
Nice.
think it's probably like one of my favorite music videos we've done. So
Out of
um
curiosity, what
yeah,
is your favorite music video you've ever done? Just because
it's
you
that
have
one.
so many. So
It's that one. It's Nosebleed for sure.
okay.
We did it. I can give it a bit away, I guess. So we did it in like we got like this haunted house in LA. Like it's where they filmed a season of American Horror Story there,
Okay.
and they filmed like Amityville Horrors there.
Okay. Yep.
So we got this house, and it was so creepy because we were filming till like 2 a.m. It was so creepy, but we filmed it in there, and we pretty much just got like four like classic slasher movies like Psycho, Halloween. Um, what else did we do? Psycho, Halloween. What's the one with the mask and the stabby? Wait, that's
Um,
Halloween. What am I
Scream?
thinking of? Scream, yeah, sorry, Scream, yeah, that's it. So we did like Scream, Psycho, like thingy, and we just kind of like remade like our favorite parts of slasher movies.
Okay. Yeah, that's cool.
And then it's just and then like Sueco's the killer, and like it's
Yeah.
just fun. It was just a fun video. We all just got to get killed all day, but it's just like really like it's not meant to be serious. It's very just like very like funny, like cringy, like just Jono getting stabbed in the shower, like the psycho scene, and like sorry, like like psycho scene, and just yeah, it's just lots of fun. I got to get pinned up onto a wall and stabbed. Just
Nice.
also really cheesy acting, just like you know, like I can see you. It's just like, how can you? Who is this? It was fucking cheesy, and it was just a really fun video to make. Really, yeah.
Nice. What was the inspiration for the cover art?
Um, to be fair, it was there's a double thing. Like the boring answer is just we thought it would look sick, and we're like, let's just do it. We've never had ourselves on the thing, but the more interview answer is, I guess it's kind of like representing the way Bond said it too. Is like it's just kind of like representing like killing off like what we were and kind of like this new chapter and
Mm,
um that whole thing of like this new era, I guess,
yeah,
and like killing off our old selves to be like this new Stand Atlantic. But it was just fun to do. It was just
nice.
we were just like dragged around. Like the funniest image I have is like we're all like dead in that picture, but like 3 seconds before that picture is taken, like while we're being dragged, we're all just like wee, like being dragged like down that like slide, and then they're
Nice.
like act dead. Yeah, it was really fun.
Yeah, that's awesome. So that's kind of all the general album questions I have, but I'd like to ask a
Cool.
few
Yeah.
more questions that are
Sure.
like more general band questions, I guess.
Sure. Yeah.
Can we talk about some of the tour dates coming up? I guess tours in general.
Yeah.
Uh, how has the summer school tour been?
The summer school tour has been so fun. Like
It's awesome.
way more fun than we even anticipated it to be. Um, it's our first time here in like a year as well. Like
Mhm.
we ever since we've started, besides COVID, I guess, but
Yeah.
since we started, like we've been touring America like 3 to 5 times a year excessively. This is the first time we haven't come back in a year. So just in that sense, it's so fun to be back.
Yeah.
But like all the bands are great. We're having fun every day. The crowds have been like even better than expected.
That's awesome.
Like, yeah, it's just been fun, really. It's just like summer vibes. Summer tours are always fun in America, I think.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And in the fall, I think September, you guys have the UK and Europe tour
Yeah.
with Honey Revenge and Slowly Slowly.
Slowly. Yeah.
You guys
I'm
are,
excited for that too.
yeah.
We literally go from this, like we're doing the summer school tour.
Yeah.
We finish summer school tour, and then we literally fly straight into an Australian tour. We do that, and then we fly straight to the UK. So we don't actually have any breaks between any of these tours. But
Okay.
we've never met Honey Revenge before this tour, but obviously they're on the summer school tour, and
Yep.
they've been really nice. So that's made me more excited.
Nice.
And we just did our last Australian tour was with Slowly, and so we know they're great too. So that's just gonna be fun. It's pretty much just like we've just brought all our friends so we can hang out.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
After that, is there any other tour plans or whatever?
Not quite. We're trying to get something across the line in November, but I'm not sure if it'll happen.
Nice.
December we usually try and take Christmas off
Okay. Nice.
just for ourselves. But next year I think we're gonna be really busy as well, obviously. So
Yeah.
I think so. There's always touring.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I have probably one last question, and it's probably a pretty interesting one. What are a few Australian bands and artists that you'd love to give a big shout out to? Maybe they're either
Okay.
small bands or bands that are killing
Yeah,
it right
sure.
now. Just whatever.
I really love Teenage Jones. I don't know if you've heard of them,
Yeah.
but they're great. And the best part is they just put out a song with our other friends, Between You and Me.
I love that
So they
song.
just put out a song together. So that's sick. But I've always loved the Teenage Jones guys. Like they're just so nice. Australia. What's going on in Australia right now? We got Slowly, who's coming out with us. We've got who's cool at the moment.
I mean, yours truly is about to release an
Yours
album.
truly, yeah. I feel like they're not up and coming though. They've got
Oh,
a
yeah,
name for
absolutely.
themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who's the small Australian band? I bet there's someone I'm like so obvious that I'm forgetting. You know who is cool though, actually? This is like they're not small at all by any means, but the boys, they're very cool.
Okay.
It's Buoys.
Okay.
And they're an all female band, and
That's cool.
they're great. Yeah, they're
Awesome.
cool. I'm sure there's more. I've forgotten.
Awesome. Yeah. Yeah, that's all I have. Thank you so much for doing this
Thank
interview
you.
with me and grabbing Bonnie for that one little question. That's
That's
awesome.
good. I can hear all the interviews going on behind me.
Yeah, thank you again.
No, thank you for having me.
This is UMFM 101.5, Suburban Home at Home. And I'm gonna try to pick up more interviews very soon. And yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
See you guys
Cool.
later.
Yeah, see ya.